Alright, hey guys. In this video I'm just going to cover point slope form of the equation of a line. So there's three different forms. Alright, we've talked about slope intercept and standard, and now we're on to the third form, which is point slope. As it says up here, in point slope form you can clearly see the slope of the line as well as a point on the line. Thus the name point slope. Mathematicians are not very creative when they name things. Here's the form: y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. M obviously represents the slope of the line, and x1 and y1 is just a point that falls on the line. Okay, so these are the three things you would be filling in when you're writing an equation of the line in point slope form. So let's do some examples. So letter A says, write the equation of the line with slope 1/2 passing through the point 4, -1 in point slope form. Okay, well, I'm filling in three things. This is my m, this is x1, this is y1. We just need to fill it in. So y minus a -1 equals 1/2 times x minus 4. Now I'm going to I'm just going to simplify this equation just a little bit and make it look neater. Minus a negative becomes plus a positive, so I'm going to write this as y plus 1 equals 1/2 times x minus 4. And I'll be honest, when I'm writing my answers, when I made my answer key, I always put this in parentheses too. I don't really think it matters, so it's up to you. Alright, so letter B says, write the equation of the line passing through these 2 points in point slope form. Use the first point given. Okay, now in this example, we weren't given the slope, so we have to start by solving for the slope. So the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You're subtracting the y's and you're subtracting the x's. The y's go on top. So 9 minus 7 over -2 minus 2. This gives us 2 over -4, which gives us a slope of -1/2. Right, and with the fraction, it doesn't matter if your negative's on the bottom or the top. I normally just write it on the top. So there's my slope. Now I just have to plug in a point, and I clarified which point to use just so that your answer will match mine. So this is my x1 and y1. So I have y minus 9 equals -1/2 times x minus a -2. Again, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit to give me y minus 9 equals -1/2 x plus 2. That's my x there, right? Minus a negative becomes plus a positive. Okay, that's it. Again, like I said, I clarified which point to use because you could take this point and plug it into point slope form and you would also be correct. But I'd just like to tell you which one to use so that our answers can match to avoid any confusion. Alright, let's do examples 3 and 4. Okay, looks a little dark. Let's see if this helps. Okay. So in example C, I'm giving you the equation in point slope form and I'm asking you to graph it. Well, if you can identify the slope and you can identify the point, then you can easily just graph your line on the coordinate plane. So our slope is obviously 2 over 5. And the point, remember the form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So these numbers right here are my x and my y. This matches, this equation here matches the form exactly, so I just need to pull them out. So my x is 1 and my y is 3. So if I go to the point 1, 3 over 1 and up 3, my slope is 2/5, so that means I'm going to rise 2 and run 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all you need is 2 points to graph a line, so if you have a calculator or something, let's see if I can line this up. A ruler, okay. That's kind of hard because it's not a ruler. I'll just draw it in. I'm pretty good at drawing straight lines if I do say so myself. Alright, let's do example D. Alright, here's my equation of the line in point-slope form. My slope is 3/2. Now, to get my point, it's not just 2, 4, right? If I want to make this match the form, I need to use negatives, right? So our form is y minus y1 and x minus x1. So if I would write this equation to match the form with the negatives, I would have to write it like this. Y minus a negative 4 equals 3/2 times x minus a negative 2. Right? When we were writing our equations on examples A and B, when we plugged in a negative number for x or y, it became positive in our final answer because the form is a negative. Okay, so if I'm pulling my points out here, that's actually a negative 2 and a negative 4. They only become positive because of the double negative here. Okay, so this is 2, 4. So I'll go over 2 and up 4. There's my point, and my slope is 3/2. So up 3 and over 2, there's another point, and I can graph my line. Okay, there it is. And you are now going to do your classwork starting on the next page. Thanks for watching.